Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Whiskey and a Reading. I hope you're doing well and staying safe, and hopefully we can all put this behind us sometime in the near future. Today I've got an unnamed drink. It's just something I throw together sometimes. I'm terrible at recipes, even though I've had a few on here. They're always kind of more to my liking than maybe what the specifics are in any recipe book. And sometimes I really just like a shot of whiskey or bourbon or scotch. And so today I've got something really simple that I throw together once in a while. This is going to be, I'm actually using different whiskey today, bourbon actually, Eagle Rare. I love the bottle, so I'm going to show that off. It's from the Buffalo Trace Distillery, which if you know me, you know that's my favorite. So I was excited to get my hands on this, and it is delicious, if I can say so myself. So today I've got some of the Eagle Rare, and I found some chocolate bitters at the store, and I am a chocolate enthusiast, to put it lightly. So this has 2 dropperfuls of the chocolate bitters in it, and a few dashes of an orange bitters. It just gives you that little bit of a chocolate orange smell, and it kind of hits you in the back of the taste buds after you swallow it. So every once in a while, I might throw a little bit of like a coffee liqueur splash in there just to kind of change things up. But you can do it over ice, or you can do it neat. But it's just simple. It's easy. You don't have to worry about lots of things and mixing or too much. You just throw a little bit in there, and it just gives it that little bit of a little something different, right? And then at the back after you swallow it, you get that little bit of chocolate and the orange on it. I'm a fan. Of course, probably not too easy to please, to be honest with you. But if you like something simple, if other stuff's kind of daunting, give it a try. And if you're trying any of these recipes or you have something new, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear what you thought of them. I'd love to hear, or send me some of these recipes. Maybe I'll give them a try myself. I also have some kind of sage old-fashioned or something I found a recipe for that if I get up the enthusiasm to go create some sage simple syrup on my own, I'm going to try to give that a whirl. So we'll see if I post it in a few weeks. Anyway, today I'm going to be reading from my first bestseller, Love by Design. This one is, I think it was my 3rd book, actually. The first 2 are the Westerns, and this one is a contemporary romance. It tells the story of Cassie and Peyton. Cassie, who's engaged to be married into a wealthy family. She's worked her way up, earned everything that she's got. And her fiancé, Stefan, is giving her an engagement gift of renovating part of the house to make her more comfortable. And Peyton is the hired designer. They immediately have a bit of connection, and it kind of sends them both reeling. Peyton professionally not wanting to cross that line. She's trying to build her business. And then Cassie with, all her past experiences and what she thought she wanted and where she's at now, and the things that come with marrying in this family. Is this where she wants to go? So there's a lot of questions that they navigate. And so I'm going to do a little reading from chapter 6. Actually, this book is in first person. My first several books were first person, and then I switched over to doing some third person. Let me finish this. There we go. Now I'm prepared. Sadly, I'm not great at these readings. If you've been watching these, they're so hard to do. It's so difficult to read them. I really, kudos to all the people that do narration and stuff. It's tough. Anyway, here we go. Chapter 6, Peyton. Stepping inside was like going back in time. The wonderful aroma of Lou's fresh brewed best wafted through the air as I headed straight to the counter. I could barely wait to sink my taste buds into their new dark roast. Just like wine, coffee had distinct flavors, and I always look forward to trying new ones. What this place needed was a coffee t-shirt that said, "I drank my way around the world." I smiled at my suddenly silly mood. Roland offered his customary cheery greeting as he approached to take my order. I added 2 muffins, knowing for certain that Val would be stealing most of mine if I didn't get her one of her own. I set my things on the counter while I waited, and a moment later, Roland set a bag of my muffins down, folded over the top, and then set off to grab the coffee. Out of nowhere, a shoulder pushed into mine, shoving me off balance. Val laughed. I know you're going to let me have some of that muffin. I nudged her back. Always trying to get my muffin, huh? She winked and grabbed the bag. You know it. It's the best muffin in town. I swiped my card and paid for the items. You can eat your own muffin, Val. I got one just for you. Won't be as much fun as eating your muffin, but thanks. Some would say it's nice to get any muffin at all. Are we really still talking about muffins? Because now I'm just getting horny. I shook my head and chuckled. Only you, Val. Only you. I picked up my coffee and belongings and I followed Val toward the exit, but froze upon hearing my name. When I turned toward the sound of the shrill voice, the air was instantly sucked from my lungs. Cassie was sitting in a booth nearby, her face twisted in horror as she punched her pink-haired friend in the arm and then hid her eyes. Even from here, I could see the blush of embarrassment crawl up her neck to settle in her cheeks. She glanced up through her lashes. A shy smile pulled at her lips. A jackhammer thumped in my chest at the sight of her. So much so it was dizzying, but I was powerless to look away. I'd spent the last 24 hours trying to get Cassie out of my mind, and now here she was again, looking every bit as stunning as yesterday. We shared a silent moment, one that was unbelievably comfortable despite every nerve in my body pulsing without mercy. Val leaned in and whispered, "Hey, you ready? You know I like my muffins hot." She laughed and then added, "And yes, I mean that in every way possible." I swallowed hard and used all of my strength to pull my gaze from Cassie. Val turned, curious to see what had so rapidly captured my attention, and caught Cassie just as she averted her eyes. "Oh, I see. Someone you know? Or maybe someone you'd like to know." Yeah, she's a friend of my fiancé's new client." "Interesting. Seems like she's into you. You gonna go talk to her?" "I don't know. What I should really do was turn and run, but I couldn't. Cassie had already seen me, and even if she hadn't, my feet refused to carry me away. I mean, she's a client. I should really go say hello." "Yes, just a very polite and professional hello." "Well, go say hello. Go say more than hello. I'll be outside enjoying this delicious morsel." She held up the bag and shook it. That glint in her eye meant I'd be getting grilled later. My eyes were anxious to return to Cassie. She was fast becoming the only thing I ever wanted to see. Unable to stay focused on my best friend for long, I sought her out once more. She seemed to know. She seemed to know and peeked up slowly to meet my gaze. Those dark eyes swallowed me whole and forced me to gasp for breath. I could stay away no longer. There you go. That's a reading from Love by Design. It was my first bestseller. I think both of these characters could appreciate a drink like the one I made. Cassie, I think, also could go with like just some fruity, fun, let your hair down kind of drinks. But they could both appreciate any one of those good stiff Scotch whiskey bourbon drinks. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this next reading. We'll see what we come up with for the next one. Until next time, stay well, take care of yourselves, and happy reading.